Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to show you the basics of using the terminal. So the first thing you're going to want to do is open up a terminal. You can do this by going to Show Applications in the bottom left here. And you can either find it in the big list or you can just type in the search, terminal. Now, something you may want to do for programs that you're going to use a lot on these computers is right click on the icon and click Add to Favorites. So what that's done now is that now the terminal will always be in this little dock on the left side of my screen. So let's open up a terminal. Now, something you might want to ask yourself is, what is a terminal? So a terminal is a text-based way of interacting with our computer, where we primarily interact by typing things in. So this is in contrast to something like a web browser, which has a graphical interface, and we interact with it by oftentimes you start clicking on buttons. Okay, so here we are. Now the first thing I want to do in our terminal is open up our lab and clear up a few things that some people don't quite seem to understand. So I presume that most of you have probably never used a terminal before, and that's quite okay. So in Lab 1 and Exercise 4, you might remember this part of the lab, where it asks you to use the git clone command to clone your Git repository. So what a lot of people have done is just simply copy this whole thing into the terminal, and then wonder why it doesn't work. So more specifically, a lot of people have wondered why this $home dash was included when you don't actually want to copy it in. So what this $home dash is referring to is this line of the terminal here, which is always there. So what information is actually this line of the terminal telling us? Well, Neo is my username on this computer, and this is the name of my computer, ThinkPad T61P. The little squiggle tells me that my terminal is currently inside my home folder. I'll come back to this later. And the little $sign is the prompt after which I can type in my commands. Okay, so I just said that this little squiggle here means that I'm currently inside my home folder. Well, let's say that I want to know where my home folder is. You can view the path of the folder that you're currently in with the print working directory command. So we type in the command, press enter. As you can see, the folder my terminal is currently in is /home/neo, which is my home folder. Now, let's say I want to know what's inside my home folder. We can do this with the list command, or ls. There we go. So as you can see, there's a whole bunch of video files in here, and there's also some folders, and maybe even a lab folder that I might want to look for later. So I'm going to open up my file browser quickly here, just to show you that all the things that I've listed in the terminal here are also present in the file browser here. So in a way, I'm sort of using my terminal as like a text-based file browser. Okay, so let's say I want to change my terminal's directory into the documents folder. So the way we do this is the cd command for change directory. I will type in our documents and press enter. So now my terminal's inside my documents folder. And here we are. So if I was to do this in a file browser, this would be the same as going to documents here. Alright, now I'm going to change into my homework folder. So, you might be wondering why this didn't work. I have a folder called homework, and I typed in homework. Well, the terminal is case sensitive, so it's important that we capitalize things exactly as they are here. Alright, so this is very good. We now know how to change into a folder. But let's say I want to go back to my documents folder. I can do this with cd ... So cd ... will always take you back one folder. So this will take me from homework back to documents. Now, if you ever get lost, you can always change back to your home folder from anywhere by just typing cd with nothing else after it. And there we go, we're back to our home folder. Now, let's say that you want to change into your lab folder here, Engineering 2219 2019 Lab 1. So you could type out the whole folder name, making sure you don't make any mistakes, but there's an easier way to do this. What you'll want to do is start typing out the name of the folder, and when you think you've typed enough, press tab, and if the terminal can, it will work out what you're trying to do and automatically complete it. So this is called tab completion. Now, what happens if we try and tab complete when it's not clear what we're trying to do? Let's say I type in DO. Now, documents and downloads both start with DO. So let's press tab a few times, and there we go. If there's more than one option and you press tab twice, it will list all the possible options. Then I'll add a C, and there we go. Now it completes the documents. So tab completion is very useful for not having to type out big long file or folder names. Now the last thing I'm going to cover in this video is your terminal history. Let's say you've just typed out a big long command and you've made a small typo. So what you can do, your up and down arrow keys will let you navigate through all the things that you've already typed into your terminal. So what you'd normally do then, okay, so I'm just going to type in a command, say, okay, so I've tried to type in git status and I've made some very bad typos. Now instead of having to type the whole thing, I can press my up arrow button to get it back, fix my typos, and then run my now correctly formatted command. There we go. So as you can see, those commands I just used are git commands, and in my next video I'm going to run through using git like you would need to do in the labs. Thank you.